Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 22 of Europa Universalis IV as France. In the last video, our very small ally, Hainaut, called us into a war, which I decided not to get involved in, mainly because Austria had warned them, and it does look like Austria may well have got involved in that war, and I didn't really want to be fighting Austria at this stage, so I did decline that. We did lose some prestige because of it, but we will get some back eventually. I'm not too worried about prestige at the moment. We just finished our mission to once again have an army bigger than the Ottomans, which gave us another 5 army tradition, and we now have again a couple of things we could go for, but I'm still liking these army tradition ones. Improved defences in Languedoc. So you're down here somewhere. There we go. So we're going to go in. We've actually got the money just, so let's go ahead and build ourselves a star fort over here. I still haven't increased my stability from that event we got that dropped the stability. I'm still several years ahead, 9 years ahead on admin tech still. What's the next admin idea, and do I want it desperately? Plus 10 global settler increase. Not that amazing. What I might actually do is 142 to boost stability. Do I want to spend 142 admin power to boost stability? And I'm not admin focused at the moment, so that's not terrible. I'm still making a decent amount of admin power. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it, because it will increase my income. So we're at 959 at the moment. If I go ahead and boost that, it will take until the end of the month to tick. And then it'll auto-save, which just slows everything down. 1074. So we got slightly better income there. It's not fantastic, but, you know, it's better than a smack in the eye, I suppose. So let's go ahead and use this ship. We'll just continue to uncover as much area as we can, and then we'll go back. Mainly what I'd like to do is just uncover some of the east coast where we can. So this is Micmac. We already had the Abenaki tribe up there. This is the Micmac tribe. If you've ever played as the the Native American tribes, they have a unique mechanic where, providing they only have a single province, they can actually migrate from one province to another. It's quite an interesting little mechanic. I've only played as a Native American tribe a couple of times. I think I did a game as the Iroquois, which went quite well. But I think they started with a couple of provinces, and I actually blobbed out quite quick. In fact, I didn't even oh, what's going on now? Oh, there we go. Grain will now be produced in our other colony. So yeah, when I was playing as the Iroquois, I actually blobbed out quite quick, and never once did I actually migrate my... natives have risen, and once again we managed to beat them. Didn't take any losses. So yeah, I never really got to use that migration mechanic, and what basically happened... There we go, got that 5 tradition. What basically happened was I had taken over most of the Native American colonies. I had defeated a lot of them, or vassalized them, or allied with them, or whatever you want to call it. I'd taken quite a lot of stuff. Price of fish has changed, but the price of salt goes up. That's fine. There we go. Our colony is now self-sustaining, my king. Our colony, Beerthuk, has grown enough to become self-sustaining. Excellent. So what I'm going to do now is going to move you into Tecumseh, which basically has 500 natives who aren't aggressive at all, and they're not ferocious, and we'll send our colony there. So this is actually a city. Look, we have a province tab. It's the right culture. It's the right religion. It has no unrest. It has a tax base, and we can go ahead here and we can start building things like temples and things to increase the tax income and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and start building a few buildings over here. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on them, because once it does become a colonial nation, then the colonial governors will do that themselves. So let's go ahead and keep uncovering stuff. We've also got an event that's just meant some natives have lost 5 aggressiveness, and until 1528, so that's 5 years. It gets 100% goods produced, which is quite nice. We're still getting quite a lot of attrition here on this ship. Don't know why I'm actually bothering to go into this sea tile, because there's not going to be anything useful there. So hopefully I'm not going to lose this ship. We're taking a lot of attrition now. Let's see if we can actually get back to port. Going along the coast, because we will take less attrition. 24% health. And then we're back. Just managed to survive it. Not too bad at all. We've also started to uncover a fair bit of the eastern states. Miami, so that must be the coast of Florida there. There's the Bahamas. So we're actually starting to find. We'll dip in there, I think, see if we can find all of Miami. But it's good that we're finding stuff now. We do have another mission. Oh look, protects against the Ottomans again. How many troops do they have? 61. I think we can manage that. I'm really surprised that this is so cheesy and it's allowing me to do this. But hey, you know, if you design your game to allow that to happen, then so be it. So we're almost up to 70. A maximum army tradition you can have is, I believe it's 100. I believe it's capped at 100. But it gives, look at the things that it gives you. And already, at almost 70%, an extra 17.3% morale of armies, an extra 6.9% manpower recovery speed, and an extra 6.9% army morale recovery speed, and an extra 3.4% siege ability. Also, if we recruit a new general, that general is more likely to have higher stats because we have higher army tradition. The army tradition also... Is it discipline? No, increases something else. Army tradition increases siege ability. I think it's discipline increases army tradition. I can't remember which way around it works, but some of these values do affect the others, so it does make you stronger overall. So that's quite nice. Diplomats are still free. Provence, are you still at war? No, it looks like you're finished. You didn't take Barcelona, which is good. Now, you like us by 140. Would you still be willing for vassalization? Yes. Improved relations, 94. So we could get an extra 5 out of you with improved relations. Well, we could get an extra 6 out of you with improved relations. So that would put you up to 146. And then we could get 25... with a gift. I think we can actually do this. If we go ahead and economic actions, send you a gift. How much would I have to give you to get the full 25? 50 ducats. Let's give you the 50 ducats. I did some very bad math there because I've just realised that it came out to 165, not 185. I don't know what I was thinking. We will go ahead and improve relations. Are you transferring trade power? Yes, you are. Got that extra 5 army tradition. Fine. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. I will still get Provence on board. It's just going to be a little bit later than I expected it to be. Improved defences in Franche-Comté. That is another 5 army tradition. Thank you very much. And we should be able to afford it as well. Buildings, Starfort. I mean, they are useful. The local missionary strength isn't that great. The supply limit is nice. And it does mean that if we do get attacked by anybody, it does take them longer to be able to siege the provinces out. So it is quite useful. How's that ship? Is it repaired yet? It did take quite a bit of a pounding, so it might take a little bit of a while. Castile has declared war on Aragon, but they haven't... called me in yet. They still could. That is a possibility. Oh, there we go. There we go. So, let's have a look and see what we've got here. First of all, we have a call to arms. The nation of Castile, your faithful ally, is requesting that you come to their aid in the Castilian conquest of Barcelona against Aragon, Portugal, Portuguese Brazil. This is a war that they have started, and Aragon is allied with Portugal. We would join as a regular ally. It will be twice as expensive for the enemy to take our provinces, but we will not be able to call in our own allies. If we decline, we will lose 25 prestige. Well, I don't really want to lose the prestige, nor do I want to tick off Castile, because I've only just become an ally with them again, and they could be quite useful as an ally if Austria do declare on me. So I'm going to accept, and hopefully things don't go too badly. We gain 20 military diplo and admin power, which is very, very nice. So, we could actually invest in a new defensive idea. Military tech, we are still 7 years ahead of time. So, let us go ahead and we will take that defensive mentality. It's an extra 33% fort defense, which is really nice. Our next military idea would give us an extra 33% reinforced speed. Not to mention, we'd also get native trading practices, which means native attacks are severely reduced and tax and manpower from the natives is increased by 100%. So really, really good colonizing places that have a lot of natives, because when they become a city, you will have a much higher modifier to the amount of tax and manpower you get from them. So that is really, really nice. So what I will do now is I'm going to slow things down a little bit. I'm definitely not going to run at speed for when I'm at war. I'm definitely not that confident. Let's just have a look who is involved. Yep, it is just myself and Castile versus arrogant Portugal and Portuguese Brazil at the moment. So I'm not terribly worried about all of that. Hopefully Castile will deal with Brazil. I think they will. Now, personally, I don't really want Castile to take Barcelona. I'd prefer to have it myself. That said, if I took that, then I'd be damaging my relations with Castile even more, which isn't something that I really want to do. Now, it's quite possible later on down the line that I may be able to go to war with Castile. Letting Castile have Barcelona would just make them stronger, but having a strong ally is not necessarily a bad thing. Just have a quick look over here and just have a look what I was doing with this shipment. It is docked, it's still repairing, that's fine. So let's go over here. And I don't think there's an awful lot to worry about. I think the only units that are around here... In fact, I don't even think I'm really going to need to get too involved. They've got a 4-stack there, which it looks like is going to get wiped out by Castile quite easily. Portugal have got some troops coming in here, but it looks like Castile's going to go and wipe them out. I don't really need to get involved in this. One thing that I do want to point out while I am actually at war, because... this is a question that somebody actually asked me the other day, and it's a very, very valid question. And I must admit, when I first started playing this game, and it's exactly the same in Crusaders Kings 2 as well, because it's the same engine. When I first started playing this game, even I hadn't realised it. And once you know it, right, I may just be stupid. You guys that have played this before, or even if you haven't played it and you just watch videos, you might have already spotted it, or you might have already know it. But if you don't spot it, and you don't work it out, it's quite difficult to tell whose side an army's on. I've had people asking me, well, when you've got all these units around, when you can see all these stacks of armies, how do you know which ones are hostile and which ones are not, basically? The same goes when you're sieging out lands. I mean, sieging out lands has always been easy, because what you basically do is you go into the diplomatic map mode. And basically, in the diplomatic map mode, anything that is green and blue is friendly, and anything that is red is hostile. So you just siege out the red stuff. So knowing what provinces to siege is fine. But how do you know who's a good guy and who's a bad guy? Well, it's actually down to the colour of the banner where the number of troops is. So sorry for you guys that already know this, and I'm teaching you to suck eggs, but I have been asked by a couple of people, and I think it's a valid point, because like I said, when I first started playing, I hadn't realised this either, and it makes it so easy. So if the colour is green, like these troops, they're mine. If the colour is blue, like these troops, they're an ally. If the colour is grey, like these troops, they're neutral. They're not involved in the war. They're not hostile to me, but they're not allied with me either. And if the colour is red, they're hostile. And that's all you need to do. Then you can zoom out, and at a glance, you can see where your own units are, you can see where your allied units are, you can see where the enemy units are, and you can instantly identify all the neutral units. And it's really, really useful when you have Particularly if you're fighting in this area of the world where you have so many different little armies running around and you have so many little wars going on between various different nations, it makes it so much easier to actually tell if an army that's heading towards you is about to come over and help you or about to come over and kick your ass. So it's really, really worth keeping your eye on that. Provence, we have got up to 159. Still not great. We are actually... They are not with us in this war. Now, the reason they are still blue is because they are still my ally. They're not part of this war, so they're not getting involved, but we do have an alliance with them, so they still show in blue. Yeah, I don't actually need to do anything at all here with this war. I'm just literally going to do nothing, which is good because it means I won't get any aggressive expansion or anything like that. It does look like that Milan actually did manage to take Wallis, so that actually took a relatively big chunk out of Savoy. Savoy, how do you feel about me and why? Aggressive expansion and HRE, which is burning off. Allied to rival CB. You wouldn't take your tax base mainly. That's strange. Well, I guess they are a member of the Empire. I was thinking maybe if I could get my relationship with Savoy high enough, I'd be able to offer them vassalization. I'm very surprised they think their tax base is too high, to be honest, because they only seem to have 3 provinces now. 5, 7, so we've got 13 and another 3. It's only 16 tax base. So I'm not too sure why, but that's fine. I'm going to speed this up again back to speed 4, simply because I don't think there is any danger to me whatsoever. I think Castile's got it covered. I mean, as far as I'm aware, Aragon only have the 3 provinces over here. It is possible, of course, that Portuguese Brazil could come over here with their fleet and start attacking my my colonies. I don't think they will, so I'm not too worried about that. So I'm going to go and take my ship. We are going to go down here and into this Terra Incognita under the sort of Florida coast, and then we'll come back around. That's fine. That should be fine. Not making a huge deal of money at the moment. I think that's partially because my trade fleet is set to go home at war. That's probably a good idea because, you know, Portugal does normally have quite a navy. Switzerland has left the military coalition, which is really good. Let's just have a quick look at the ledger, actually. Let's go and have a look at the military. Let's have a look at, actually, the navy I want. The navy for Portugal. Do you have much of a navy around? Portugal has a total of 6 ships, and 4 of those are transports. 1 light and 1 heavy, and I think they're all docked. So I don't think we have to worry too much about them. They're being blockaded in by the Castilian fleet. That is fine. Aragon, you have no fleet whatsoever. So I'm quite happy at the moment to tell you don't have to go home at war. So my trade fleet can go off and continue to make some money for me. Another one thing that I did want to just have a very quick look at was on the armies and look at Austria. So Austria currently have 14,000 manpower, which is not a lot. They don't have many men in the tank. I've got 90,000 manpower. They've only got 14,000 manpower. They also have 61,000 men, which is 36k infantry, 12k cav, and 13k artillery. Well, 61k, and I'm currently running 60k. So our armies are pretty evenly matched. The problem is, most of the time, when you get in a war with Austria, you're not just in a war with Austria, you're in a war with Austria and the entire Holy Roman Empire, which usually ends up being a right pain in the arse. Papal State likes me a little bit. Let's go ahead and improve relations, just because it gives my diplomats something to do. Castile, how much do you like me at the moment? 150. Improve relations is up to 70. We could go ahead and improve the relations with you a little bit more. You are going to be our ally for a while, so hopefully we'll keep you on board. It could be very, very useful if we do decide we want to go to war with Brittany at some point. There's our defences improved. There's another 5 army tradition. Oh, look, we've got a mission to build an army up to the Ottomans again. Let's go ahead and take it. It might be a bit of a boring way of doing things, but hell, it's making me an awful lot of army tradition. What is our army tradition up to now? 76.2. Doing very, very well there. Let's have a quick look over at that ship. Did you get to go all the way down there? Are you on your way back? There we go. Next to 5 army tradition. Let's just quickly hit save. Not too bothered about that. One random guy, you can go away now. Sorry, dude, you're not needed for this one. And, accumulate money. Okay, accumulate money wants us to get 568 ducats. That's actually quite a lot. Or we can establish bases in the Caribbean for 10 prestige, or we can reclaim Artois. Let's try and accumulate the money. Shouldn't take too long. I'll just have to avoid spending money on buildings and stuff for a little while and see if I can do that. Did you actually ever get down there? Because I'm not sure if you actually uncovered anything. It doesn't look like you actually went down there, really. Did I not click it properly, or did I... When I shift-click to go back to base, did I click in the wrong spot? I'm not too sure what I did. So we're taking a little bit of attrition. Obviously, we take a lot less now. We take a little bit of attrition because we are at sea. But we also take a lot less attrition because we're not... You see, most of the attrition is from time at sea. But we're not massively out at sea because we're actually quite close to our little ports up there. So let's just go and uncover a few more of these tiles if we can. Because it also helps us to see where... it also helps us to see where other nations may have settled. And we can also see where some of the natives are as well. So, there we go. Now we're actually starting to take some attrition to the boat itself. Which is not terrible. End of religious turmoil. I think we've got time to nip into there. There we go. Austria, never bothered about Austria, never have been. Terra Incognita, 60%. Okay, now it's time to go back home. We should be able to make it. Worst case scenario, if it's not, we only lose a transport. And don't forget, we can always build more ships and troop reinforcements over here now as well. Austria has a new pope. We can gain a free stability, or we can gain a skill 2 artist. Let's have the free stability, why not? You have 28 health. You might not make it, actually. You're going to struggle. There we go, we're not getting attrition anymore. We're close enough to home, that's fine. Castile, recall diplomat, you can't do anything else. What do we have here? We can invest in a new technology. Now, it's actually a diplotech. So, what do we want to do? Do we want to take the Diplotech, or do we want the Diplo idea? The Diplo idea would give us plus 20% global tariffs. Now, tariffs are basically the money you get from colonies and colonial nations. We will want that at some point, but as we don't have any colonial nations at the moment, it's not all that useful. Of course, it would give us the extra manpower modifier. And as we do have one colony that's very close to finishing, because it's already at 962 people, that could be very useful to get. However, if we invest in this technology, we'll get better ships. Although I'm not really needing to use them at the moment. Just give us better trade efficiency. We are behind on time, so I think we are going to go ahead and take that for now. Definitely, the next time we get more Diplo points, we will go ahead and get the next one. We can also afford our next expansion idea, and again, we are still 5 years ahead of time. With our tech, so we'll take the idea, and that is going to give us an extra plus 10 settler increase. So that's really, really nice. All good stuff going on there. How's this war going on with Aragon? I'm surprised you haven't managed it yet. I guess it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for them because they have to siege out this this island down here, and they may not have any transports free to use. Often the AI seems very bad at sort of taking island provinces. There we go. Our colony has become self-sustaining. That is excellent. Let's go ahead and start ourselves a new colony. It makes sense to try and make a few more in colonial Canada. So what we're going to do, we'll move this guy over here because there is a straight crossing. We can just march over there. We don't need to use the boat. And we'll go ahead and we will send the guy over. Now, we may very well have to go to war with some of these nations. I don't think you need a CB against these guys. I think you automatically... Do you not have one? Oh, no CB. I thought you didn't need a CB to go up against the them because they're heretics. There you can see we moved into Not heretics, sorry, heathens. There you can see, as we moved a unit in, we instantly got attacked by natives, but that's not too much of a problem. We are still accumulating money. We're almost up to the point that we need to be, actually. That ship's still only at 78%. We can actually become Defender of the Faith now if we wanted to. Not too bothered about that right now. It would give me a CB against those heathens, though, but it'd be easy enough to fabricate claims if we decide to start going to war with the native tribes. Oh, there we go. Our king has died. I was just about to say, just before we deal with this, remember that because of the way things work in the art of war, in order to get a 100% war score, Castile will have to siege out all of Aragon's provinces and all of Portugal's provinces, because the occupational war score is based on a percentage of everyone that's involved on that side of the war. So they would have to siege out 100% of Portugal and Aragon's provinces. However, if the war's been running for 5 years or more, then they only need to siege out Aragon's provinces, and then they'll have the 100%. So, our king has died. We had a stability drop. I'm glad I took that free stability now, because it keeps us at +2. So we've got a new king who is a 141. I don't remember what the previous guy was, but I don't think this is as good. 141's pretty terrible. It's a total of 6. Our new heir, though, is a 243, which gives us a total of 9. Our heir is actually much, much better than our current king. Last time I looked, yeah, we were getting something like 1098 or something like that. So at the moment, our distribution of power here is actually quite bad. Our current ruler's 33 and our heir's 31, so this person may be on the throne for a little while. Grain will now be produced in Takamakuk. Royal marriage offer from Brittany. We may as well keep that going while we want to try and stay allied with them. At least this isn't as bad as CK2, where when your ruler dies, your sort of influence with everybody resets, because it's you're playing as a person, you're not playing as a nation. At least in this game, just because my ruler dies, yes, I get a stability drop and his stats change, but everyone's opinion towards me is the same as what it was before. Tamakuk is taking its time, but it will eventually become a colony. Obviously now we've got this place, so both of these are now proper colonies. This one actually has a severe winter, which is not fantastic. But it does have this goods produced thing for a little while, which is nice. 1.2 tax base, so that was the boost that we got from having the natives there, sort of folded into all that. We can take our ship down. Is there anywhere else down here that we really need to explore? Would be nice if we could still uncover all of that. So let's tell him to do that and then come back, and we'll unpause. So we have discovered a very good chunk of the eastern coast. Luckily, not many people have settled here right now, so it'll be very, very good for us as France and get a jump start on everybody else, because just like in history, Castile and Portugal tend to settle towards the Southern American continent, and France and Holland tend to go, and England tend to go for the North American continent. Beating England here will be absolutely fantastic for us. We can either get until 1537, which is for 10 years, +1 missionary strength and +0.5 papal influence, and -2 tolerance of heretics, which I don't really need, or I can gain 10 prestige. Let's take the prestige, because that is a little bit low. Got a lot of papal influence here. We could actually spend 40 and gain 10 prestige. We could get some indulgence for sins, which would give us some legitimacy, but that's absolutely fine. We could get him to reduce our interest per annum, but we don't have any interest at the moment. We could proclaim a holy war. I think we'll just spend some points ensuring that we get some more seated cardinals, really. See if we can become pope at any point. Milan has left the military coalition against us. That is fantastic. I'll let that ship get back. Portugal has accepted peace. Portugal will be forced to give Castile 10% of their income each month to pay for war reparations. This will last for 10 years. Portugal will pay 58 ducats. With no CB, Castile gains 2 prestige and suffers 0 aggressive expansion penalty. This peace gave Portugal -2 prestige and Castile gains 0.04 inflation. Alright, so that was Portugal. So Portugal themselves have... Portugal have basically come out of the war, and that's mainly because they're in another war with the look of things. Portugal are actually in another war with Morocco. So Portugal have actually dropped out of that war, which now means that Castile have got 99% war score against Aragon. They still haven't managed to siege out Majorca, but that war should end amazingly soon. I'm surprised that it hasn't ended already. I was just hoping that that war would end quickly, so that, there we go, accumulate money, 10 prestige, thank you very much. I was hoping that war would end quickly before the end of the video. Protect against the Ottomans, 61 troops. Why not? We haven't had that quest before, so let's go ahead and do that. Just pick a province, doesn't really matter where. Castile have actually managed to land some troops on the Gulf of Majorca there. I realise now that we're at the 30-minute mark. This video's gone on a lot longer than my EU4 videos normally do, but there we go. Protect against the Ottomans. We managed to do that. Now, my current military power, my force... Oh, no, it's still 61. Okay, that's fine. I thought it had gone up a little bit, but it hasn't, so we'll get rid of that guy, and then we might get that mission again. Establish bases in the Caribbean, conquer Milan, or royal marriage with Provence. Wasn't aware that I hadn't already got one. Should have, but obviously our king died. So let's go ahead and do the royal marriage thing. How much they likey. Sent the gift, improved relations. The subsidies have now finished, and they were helping quite a lot, actually. So what I'm going to do is we'll have to wait until that... Austria declared war on Bohemia. That's fine. It's not my problem. New mission, protect against the Ottomans. Again, that is so gamey. So I really feel like I'm exploiting it, but you know, what can I say? What did I want to go and do over here? I wanted to go and give them some subsidies. Now, subsidies do build up over time, so you don't get them instantly. But it will go a great way towards helping get them on board. 5 army tradition. Give you subsidies. No, I don't want to give you, like, all my money. That would be, like, hella stupid. How much money am I making? Oh, I'm making loads. If I give you subsidies for, like, 30 years, I don't mind. I've got enough money to make it there. Got another mission. So let's just quickly pause that. Let's let people through that want to be let through. So we can either establish bases or colonize Havana. That could be quite nice if we could colonize Havana, because that would actually give us plus 5% settler chance and plus 25 global settler increase for 5 years. So let's go ahead and take that. Now, what we really shouldn't do is we shouldn't start a third colony, although I could. Starting a third colony would be very expensive because we'd be over our colonial limit. But we'll decide what we're going to do about that in the next video. It doesn't look like Castile's going to peace out with Aragon anytime soon. Although saying that, they are sort of 7% of the way through this siege now. They've actually got their ships... Where's the next siege tick? 28%? They might do it. We'll give it a few seconds. We've improved relations with the Papal State as much as possible. There we go. You've got 100% war score. There we go. So, yeah, they have actually taken Barcelona. In fact, they have taken all of Aragon. So, full annexation was demanded. The peace cost Castile 150 diplomatic power, and with the conquest Cassius Belli, Castile gains 12 prestige and suffers 27 aggressive expansion relations penalty. So, there goes Aragon. It's made Castile a little bit stronger. I still don't think Castile can form Spain, because I think they need to have... at least Aragon. They definitely need to have Aragon to be able to form the Spanish nation. So they shouldn't be able to do too much there. But that being said, that is going to be the end of this video. We can get rid of this guy now because, of course, we've done with that mission. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Europa Universalis IV, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, goodbye for now.